Welcome back to another Origins of Power Day 0 build, guys, and today we have Historia Reiss? Secret Identity. This is another of the 5-handers that they've printed for Origins of Power, and I'm really excited that we're getting good 5-handers again. No shade to Beast Titan, he was a little underwhelming. So, Historia Reiss is the Survey Corps, and has Life and Order as her symbols. She has a response, Tenacious. When you build a foundation that does not share a name with a card in your stage, add 1 wall counter to this card and gain 1 health. Now, so this means if you're going first, she's committed, but this response is Tenacious, and you play out 4 different foundations, and say have 1 card in your hand and end your turn, you're going to be able to get 4 wall counters, because each of those foundations is different. If you build a face-down foundation, either from your hand or your discard pile or from the top of your deck, if something builds a card into your stage face-down cards technically don't have names, you will still get a wall counter for just building cards face-down with this character and gain health. That can add up to a lot of health gain. We also have Response. After you draw 1 or more cards, this attack gets +1 or -1 damage. And in Enhance, remove 2 wall counters, draw 1 card. So a 5-hander that fuels her own draw power. This is going to be really fun. Let's start with our attacks, shall we? We have Determined Dive. I did build her off of the life symbol because all of the wall counter support is order attuned, so I figured we could lean into some of the defensive capabilities of life while keeping our wall counters from the order attuned. So we start with Determined Dive. This is a 4/3, 3 high for 5, 2 mid block, Fury, and Weapon. Blitz, draw 1 card if you have a wall. It says counter, or it says token, but they mean wall counter, and they actually errated this to mean counter and not token. So if you have a wall counter in your stage, draw 1 card. And Blitz, build the top card of your deck face down committed. That will get you a wall counter, and it will gain you a health. So if you have no wall counters, you can play the first Blitz to build the top of your deck face down committed, get a wall counter, and then do the Blitz to draw the card. So a really powerful card for Historia here. Next we have Panicked Admonishment, a 3/3, 2 high for 3 with a 1 high block and the charge keyword. Blitz, if we have 4 or more wall counters on cards in our stage, this attack gets +2 speed and +2 damage, so it becomes a 4 high 5 on a 3 diff. That's pretty solid. Next we have Wall Artillery, a 5/3, 5 high for 4, with a 2 high block, ranged, and weapon. Blitz, add 1 wall counter to any card in your stage. This attack gets +1 damage for every 2 wall counters on total cards in your stage. So you get a wall counter, and you get a huge attack boost. Pretty solid. And then you can draw cards to, of course, get more damage as well. We have Wall Maria's Might, a 5/3, 5 low for 5 with a 2 low block, charge and ranged. It's got Blitz, add a wall counter to a card in your stage, and then draw 1 card for every 2 wall counters on that card. So it fuels your wall counters, it draws you cards, which boosts its damage because of our response on Historia here. Every time we draw 1 or more cards, we get +1 damage. So we get an extra damage, we draw more cards, we get more wall counters to draw more cards. It works. And as a response, if we block with this card, we get to draw a card. Pretty cool. And if it's a partial block, we can then give that -1 with Historia before the damage stat. So that could come in handy, knocking an odd number to an even so you take 1 less damage on a partial, or a throw, could be useful. Speaking of throws, we have Overhead Reversal. This is a 4/3, 3 low for 4 with a 3 high block and the throw keyword. We get to build 1 foundation with a printed difficulty of 0 from our discard pile committed. And we do have a couple of zeros, some really good zeros, that we can build in to hopefully get more wall counters. And lastly, we have Entering the Titan Forest, a 4/3, 4 mid for 4 with a 1 mid block, EX2 and ranged. So with EX2, we can spend any number of momentum as an enhance, and for each momentum, we're going to get +2 speed. It has a Blitz. If we have 9 or more foundations, draw 2 cards. That's a damage boost right there. And Blitz, if our rival has 9 or more foundations, this attack gets 4 damage. So we're just all about dumping a bunch of damage on this and then spending all of our momentum for the EX2 to make this a kill card. Onto our assets, we have Tattered Costume, a 2/5 with a 2 mid-block. Hi, Sam. And the unique keyword. Response, sacrifice. After your rival plays an ability on an action card or a keyword ability printed on an attack card, we get to cancel that ability and draw one card. So if they stun us, we can draw a card, we can cancel the stun, draw a card, and give -1 damage if Historia is ready, because we drew a card. So really, really cool there. Vertical maneuvering equipment. What can I say about this card that hasn't already been said? It's a 2/5, 1 mid-block, spend a momentum for +3 or -3 speed and a zone change, and we can commit for a little extra damage if we need to. And then we have Idenbox, a 2/5 with a 2 low block. Excuse me. You would think with getting an extra hour of sleep tonight, thanks to daylight savings time, I wouldn't be so tired. But it does feel like it's 10 o'clock as of time of recording as opposed to 9. Enhance commit, return this attack to its printed speed and damage, return it to its printed zone, and if it was unblockable, it is no longer unblockable. Pretty solid defensive piece here. And last but not least, we have Raise Walls. A 0/5 with a 2 mid-block. Form, add a wall counter to a card in your stage and draw a card. Response, after you block with this card, that blocked attack loses shift, draw 1 card. And now we get shifts that shift into foundations instead of backups, so that could also prove very good defense there. Onto our foundations, we have Brief Respite. It's a 1/5 with a 3 high block. Enhance, sacrifice a foundation, gain a health. That's just pretty good. We have Defend the City, a 2/6 with a 1 high block. With a Tenacious Response, flip after you commit any number of cards due to a rival effect. Build the top card of your deck face down, which then gets us a wall counter and gains us a health. We have Desperate Plea, 1/4, 2 mid-block. Response, flip after you block, build the card you blocked with face up or face down. So even if you block with a action or an attack, you can build it face down, gain that 1 health. We have Historia's Declaration, a 3/5 with a 2 mid-block. Enhance flip, choose 1 card in any stage. If the chosen card has 1 or more wall counters on it, this attack gets +2 or -2 damage. Add 2 wall counters to the chosen card. This is going to be a big staple for these wall counter decks. We got a fun Coronation of Historia Reiss, 2/5 with a 3 low block. Response, flip commit, or commit flip, I should say. After your rival plays an ability on a foundation, commit all copies of that foundation in play, so yours and your rival's. So, could be tricky, but if your rival has, a bunch of free play foundations, like if they're Ghidorah and they've got that +1, -1 damage card, you can just commit all copies of it for their turn and your turn, if you're doing it on their turn. And then as a Deadlock first form, we can selectively commit a foundation in our rival stage. Pretty good Deadlock. We have Irwin's Insight, 2/5, 2 low block. Enhance flip, if you have 5 or more wall counters on your character, look at your rival's hand. This comes in real handy with that vertical maneuvering equipment, so we can make sure we can dodge our rival's block zones. And as a Deadlock Enhance, we can flip this card to freeze 3 rival foundations. Pretty strong there. Freezing meaning they will not ready during our rival's next ready step. Faith in the Walls. This is a 1/5 with a 2 mid-block. Response, after we play it, we get to add a wall counter to a card in our stage. Just generally good stuffs. Fortify Walls, a 2/5 with a 2 high block. As a static, at the end of the turn, we get to add a wall counter to this card. So even if we played it that turn and it builds down, it's at the end of the turn we get 1 wall counter. So even if we just played it that turn, we still get it. Enhance, flip, move all wall counters from this card to another card. So we can really stockpile onto Historia there. Or Enhance, remove all wall counters from this card. This attack gets -1 speed for each counter removed this way. So you're really going to want to protect this card, but it's really powerful. Excuse me. Next we have Nullifying Force. It's a 3/5, 2 mid-block. Response flip, after an attack is played, its damage cannot be modified. Really good defense piece there. Researching the answer, I thought this was cool. It's a 3/5 with a 2 low block, and the unique keyword, response after your ready step. If there are 6 or more face-up foundations with exactly 1 copy in your stage, your character's hand size gets +1 this turn. So this means before we draw for our draw step, we could go +1 hand size and become a 6-hander with 30 health as opposed to a 5-hander. I don't know how much this is actually going to work, but hopefully with some of the flipping stuff and some of the building stuff, you're able to... It's just a cheeky one of... It's not really that impossible or possible to do, so it's just a fun little thing to do. Plus, it's a low block. I was short on low blocks. We have Spirit Beast Pooh, a 0/6 with a 3 mid block and the ally keyword. As a static, after we block with this card, we build it committed. So if we didn't have a Spirit Beast Pooh, we block with this, it builds, we gain a health. We have Syndicate Target, 0/6, 0 low block. As a static, if we block with it, we lose a health. It's just a 0/6. We have Surprising Skill, 0/4 with a 0/5 with a 4 mid block. It cannot be committed due to rival effects. And as a response, flip after one or more of our cards is committed due to our rival effect or sealed due to a rival effect. Our rival either commits a foundation or we get to ready a foundation. So we could ready a... Actually, we don't have a lot of commit costs. A lot of our stuff is flip cost. We have no commit costs except for Coronation of Historia Reiss. Everything is flip cost, so we could just force our rival to commit one, or just ready a foundation so we have more to block with. Yeah, I think only one card in our foundations has a commit cost. That is insane. We have number 10 Pro Hero, a 0/6 with a 1 high block. Very good there. We have New Training Method, a 2/4 with a 2 high block. Response, after we build this card, we get to build a foundation from our hand committed, which could be an extra build, an extra wall counter, and an extra health with Historia. And response commit flip, after we check a foundation, we can add it to our hand. So some of these have some really good blocks with like that +0 low and the +1 high. We have Defend the Rear, 2/5, 2 low block, enhanced commit. This attack with a printed difficulty of 5 or less gets -3 speed. So this will not help you against the big Titan attacks, but against pretty much anything else, we can get -3 speed on that. And Shameless Haggler, a 2/5 with a 2 low block, enhanced flip, discard a card. We get to draw a card and gain 2 health. Our rival may then draw 1 card and gain 2 health, and if they do, we get to draw another card and gain 2 health. And since this is 2 instances of draw, we get to get +2 damage if we get both of them. So our rival's probably not going to give us both. But flip to draw a card and gain 2 health, and then +1 damage or -1 damage, still pretty fun. And that is my first take on Historia Reiss. I think she's going to be real fun to work with. I've gained a liking for wall counter characters lately. I've been dabbling with a Hans at my locals that can get pretty disgusting when Hans is just giving Twisting Azure Inferno +3 damage automatically, so that the first enhance you do is the check hacking one. So I'm kind of sad there's only one wall counter character in this set, but I mean, with the way the story goes, I'm sure you can't put too many wall counter characters in each set. So I'm happy that we're getting some wall counter stuff at least. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think of Historia? If you like the deck and you enjoy the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.